Hi, this is Missouri Assistive Technologies Web Accessibility Testing AT Toolkit, and we're working with the HeadMouse Nano today and our Jelly Bean switch. So any clicks that you hear today will be with the Jelly Bean switch, single click only, and it can also be used with dwell feature, but we are not doing that today. And we're going to show you through our website before page with a few errors on it, and then how this acts differently on our after page. So this is just a mouse alternative to the keyboard, and it is communicating through the IR tracking sensors with the head mouse. And as you can see, I kind of changed my cursor to the bright yellow so that you could see that today. And if I cover the silver dot on these glasses, you'll see that no matter when I move, that cursor does not move. And the light on the head mouse also turns red. But now that it's back able to communicate with the head mouse, we can move our head, and that is what's moving the cursor all around the page. And then we were going to use these navigation buttons, which we'll talk about in just a second. And we'll be using the single switch only. My hands are not touching the keyboard, and this is on a Windows 11 operating system. So let's first go to navigate through. We're going to tab. And if you need to recalculate anytime, you just put your head off to the side, so where it doesn't see the sensor, and then back in the middle. I move my head around a lot, and we're going to go back to where we can tab through this. Tab, and you can follow the frame. And it's got the order. There was skip to content. We're going to the next one. And then, I decide, I actually wanted to select skip to content. But I can't do two buttons, right? I can only do one. So this left drag icon, it's the mouse with the left click red highlight. We're going to select that icon. We're going to select shift. And then we're going to select tab, and it allows me to select both of those at the same time, and it went back to my skip to content. Deselect left drag, and then I can go up and single select skip to content. And if I do not want to show this whole keyboard, I select the icon that has a little keyboard, and that disengages your keyboard from the dragger toolbar, which is just these icons. So we're going to show you how it scrolls, and you can click on, single click on the caret, or we can hold it down and it's going to scroll for you. I can also take the scroll bar and move that down as well. We're going to go to a form field. First name. So now we do want our keyboard up. And B, my name is Brenda, R-E-N-D-A. And if I want a capital W, I'm going to go Shift. I'm going to do that left click, drag, and go Shift. Shift W. There we go. And then deselect that. We can also move the location of the keyboard, dock it to the top or dock it to the bottom. And I'm going to just have my dragger buttons, my dragger toolbar, and come down here to drag a file. And before we talk about that, when you are selecting from an on-screen keyboard, some individuals can do this really fast, or you can use word prediction to make it faster, but you do want to, on your web page, to make sure that the individual isn't timed out. So they need to have that plenty of time, or have some sort of message that tells you, hey, you're about out of time, or you only have X amount of time. So we are going to click in here to drag a file. Now, if I wanted to double click that, there's the double click icon with the two mice and the yellow, and I can click once on that and it double clicks. Okay. So it's going to upload that file for this form, and that's our before page. Now let's go to our after page. This should flow a lot better. We're going to go down and we're going to scroll, tab, 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 tab. And the skip to content, we're going to select that. And we're going to scroll down. It also does not have the video that automatically plays. As you saw, I accidentally selected another item, and that's an important thing to remember if links are too close together, to make sure that you have room for an individual that is using some type of mouse alternative and or an on-screen keyboard, that they have room, that the links are far enough apart. We're going to scroll down here. To our fillable form. And we're going to left click, and it shows you in the frame. And we're going to dock this to the top. Do a capital, so we do the left drag to do Shift W, and then HIT. Gonna hit tab and tab, and we're gonna tab through these. On our year, we're gonna select this and see how you do a drop down with this. So I can either do the up arrow on my keyboard, and it changes the year, and I can select enter, or you can use the scroll bar depending on the control that the individual has. So we're going to scroll down here, or we'll just tab through here. And tab through, and it's telling me that that field is required. I'm going to tab through. And I'm going to select next page. But on this page, the after page, that's a good design. It tells me that these fields are required. So that's it's great to have that error message. And as well, on the second page, on the first page, I don't know if you heard the video playing or not, and I could not turn it off because there were no navigation keys. And this, with the single switch, I can turn it on. And then I can also pause it. And this just works beautifully.